in running a successful business and scaling is it to have your systems in place? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, like one of my guiding principles is that, this business is built on great people, smart processes, and innovative technology, right? So we've got to have good people in place. And, we can talk about how challenging that is just in and of itself. But once you get good people excited about growing a business with you, you've got to have some predictable, smart processes in place so that it's not just pure chaos, right? And when a lot of things start happening all at once, systems can break down, and there can be a lot of confusion, a lot of mistakes. We have an incredibly complicated business, so I think that having the right systems in place for people to work within is a huge factor in scaling, right?
So let's kind of, if we can drill down on that a bit, like at a high level, tell us, what kind of systems do people need to have in place for their fence business? There's hiring for one. There needs to be a hiring system. Kind of, let's go through some of those if we could.
Right. Yeah. So hiring is definitely one. Like, how do you hire people? How do you recruit them? What do you ask them whenever they say, yeah, I'm interested in working with you, and they submit a resume? What do you screen for? What questions do you ask them? When it comes to marketing, what is your, we have to have systems in place to say, hey, we're going to generate leads, people who are interested. We're going to capture the attention of people who are interested in buying a fence and try to get them to call us, right? Mm-hmm. So what systems do we have in place for that? Once they call us and we get a bunch of people calling at the same time, how do we manage those leads, right, effectively so that we, call people back in a timely manner and get an appointment set up? How do we manage our appointments? How do we estimate jobs, accurately, so that I don't have to spend, and in a way that I don't have to spend a year or two training somebody in all the nuances of fencing? How can I get somebody spun up relatively quickly with enough knowledge to go out there, with enough knowledge and the right tools to go out and sell jobs profitably, right? Once they sell the jobs, what are the systems that are in place for processing those contracts efficiently, maintaining contact with the customer, the job management tools? What job management tools do you have to make sure that jobs are broken down accurately, ordered accurately, tracked accurately, and then pulled from inventory accurately, so that you can go out and install well? And then all of the training and the training tools that you need, the truck layouts that you need to make sure that your crews, if you have multiple crews, that they're all kind of doing the same thing in the same way. Mm-hmm. So that if you hire a new person on and they ride with this crew leader today, and then somebody doesn't show up and they're riding with this crew leader tomorrow, that they see basically the same process being followed so that they catch on faster. And then managing warranty is sort of the, final piece. Like, what happens when somebody calls you and they have an issue? Hey, my neighbor came and told me that the fence is installed over the property line, or hey, my gate isn't latching properly, or oh, the guys missed a few pickets when they were nailing. Like, what's the process and system for handling those calls?
Got it.
So that you kind of keep people on the golden brick road, right? And they're always happy and saying nice things about you to their friends and family.
Absolutely, that's nice. So,
and you're making money. I mean, I guess that's kind of important, right?
Sure. Now, so at your stage, franchising, there is literally a process and a system for everything spelled out. Mm-hmm. That, I mean, that's truly amazing that everything is just that well defined. what I would like to do, and I think would be very helpful for the folks tuning in, is to break down, if we could, some of these systems based upon where they're at. So let's say we've got the guy, he's got a crew, and maybe they're doing up to the $500,000 mark. So one crew, two crews, they're doing up to $500,000. Those types of systems, I imagine, have got to be quite a bit different from the guy that's doing 5 million with 10 crews, 20 crews.
No, see, that's the beauty of it is you can have a different system when you're doing $500,000 a year in revenue, right? You can do things manually. You don't have 50 orders that you're keeping track of right now, so you don't have to necessarily be as smart as you do when you have 50 orders that you're keeping track of. But if you want to scale up and scale up quickly, you can put the same systems in place at, and I see it, right? I see it every single day with our offices that have just opened. They're doing same things the exact same way my office is. The difference is they're just doing it with less people, right? So the responsibilities are concentrated with fewer people, but as they grow, they can just disperse those responsibilities out to more people, right? Like one person can manage the phone calls and the back office, most of that for a company that's doing up to, let's say, $1.5 million in revenue. Well, when they want to keep growing and they want to get to 3 million, well, they just need to hire another office person and split those responsibilities out. But the systems and the processes are the exact same for us. Mm-hmm. But and the reason why, I guess I've had to retool several times as I've grown. And I was interested to see if it was actually going to work when we started doing this, because we only just started doing this, right? So I wasn't sure when we started if somebody could take the same processes and systems that I have and use them when they're small. I felt pretty good that they were going to be able to do that, but I wasn't sure. But now I've seen it several times, and I feel pretty confident that if you have the right systems when you're starting out at $500,000 in revenue, if you put the right systems in place, all they're going to do is enable you to grow.
Awesome.
And you don't have to keep breaking your business apart and putting it back together again, which is, I think one of the things that tends to happen is guys get big, and it's hard to, and it was hard for me to take my business apart and put it back together again and manage change and manage growth. I think with the right systems in place early on, you never have to do that, and you can kind of grow faster.
Absolutely.
With less pain. So.